Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Adventure Stories. I'm VTOUTDOORMAN here. Please hit the subscribe button down below for me if you want to subscribe to the channel, and also feel free to leave a comment if you got any hunting stories you'd like to share as well. So today's video I'm going to be talking about a doe that I had taken during muzzleloader season when I was, I think, 14 or 15 years old, and it ended up being in a blizzard. My dad and I went hunting that morning, and it wasn't supposed to start snowing until later in the afternoon, but by like 10 o'clock it had really started to snow out, and my dad had been on his way to come pick me up from my spot because this was back before we had cell phones and stuff. And he kicked up a couple of deer that ended up coming right to me, and I had a good shot at one, but just as I was squeezing the trigger on my muzzleloader, this deer took just a slight step forward, so I ended up hitting the deer back a little bit far, and I knew that I hit it by the way that it took off. Thank God my dad was already on his way to come get me, because at this point it was snowing really hard. So he came to me soon after I shot, probably 5-10 minutes or so, and we got on the trail right away, and we kept jumping the deer, and the tracks and the blood were getting covered up just as fast as we could find them because it was snowing so hard out. I think we probably ended up tracking the doe for probably a good mile or more. And when we were following the tracks at one point, it kind of went to this little group of cedars, this real thick group of cedars. So we made a swing around the backside, and when we came out on the other side, no tracks, no nothing. So my dad pulled back the branches a little bit, took a look in. There she was laying in there, but she was still alive. So he said, well, this is your deer. You're going to have to, finish her off. And so that was my first experience of having to finish off an animal. But it was fine. Reached in, touched off, and well, she came flying out the other side. But she ended up dying about 5 yards after that. And we look back now and we're like, thank God she went the opposite way, because if she'd come out after us on our side, it would have knocked us clear over. But when we caught up to her, she was pretty far from where we had parked the truck as well, so we had a long drag in this blizzard, wind blowing, snowing probably an inch an hour. It was just crazy. And actually I think when we dragged it out to a farm in an area where we parked, but we didn't park at the farm that day. We had parked at somebody else's neighboring property, so I wasn't able to drive yet. So my dad had to then walk all the way another mile or so up to where the truck was to get the truck to come back down to get me to load the deer. So that was a pretty eventful day. It was probably one of the days I remember the most of all my deer hunting stories. I can still remember most of the details for that story. But that was a lot of fun. I look back now and it's like, he did a lot of work on that day for me, my dad. So again, a big thanks to my dad for helping me out there and really getting into me. So he's gone up now to a hunting spot for the night. I'm gonna head down to another hunting spot here. So thought this would be a good time to share a story with you, and we'll see you again next time on another episode here of Hunting Adventures with me, VTOUTDOORMAN. See ya.